Get you some magnesium. Shouts out to everybody that's watching this community beacon. It's 4 o'clock. It's Friday. We here, man. Mike Seville, Palm Beach Mike, your real estate guy here in northern Palm Beach County, Florida. And of course, on the other side of the screen, we got my brother from another mother, the Joel Simmons of the Tenacity Foundation. As you caught us on the screen, I was diagnosing the brother.
Diagnosing me. Straight up.
My prescription is some magnesium. I know you're working out. I know you're moving. You're moving around. Try to get around 400 milligrams of it a day. That really, for most people, that's the missing electrolyte. Well, potassium too. Unless you're eating a bunch of avocados and such. Potassium, if you're not supplementing with potassium, which is hard. I've noticed it myself. I'm like, wow, I think I'm supposed to get around 3,000 or 3 grams, which is 3,000 milligrams. And man, when I really looked into it, I was like, wait a minute. I don't know where it's supposed to come from, and a lot of the stuff they tell us to use is just it's not practical. I can't drink 10 liters of coconut water. It doesn't make sense, with the sugar on one side of it and the potassium, although it's good for you. I'm never going to down coconut water. I'm just not going to drink 10 liters of it a day. So no salt works. Cream of tartar works. Avocado I'm starting to think is like the miracle fruit. But then when we talk about avocado, it's like finding the right, like it goes bad so quickly and then it's not ready. And it's like the avocado game is something, it's like bananas, right? It's like you got to really prepare for these things. And then even when you do prepare, you got bad avocados, So guys, I'm putting you on. Shouts out to everyone that's joining us on this Good Friday. We're going to jump right into it, man. It's 4 o'clock. I know the brother has to leave sooner than normally, not spending that hour with us. So let's jump into it. We are back on principles, are we not, brother?
Principles. That's
Amen.
it.
I've been running off at the mouth. Anything you want to jump in and get started, or I can, you let me know.
I just want to tell everybody, listen, we're headed out. Tenacity Foundation is headed out to the Philippines in the next week, and we will be putting on a humanitarian mission. So please, if you would like to be a part of it, you can contribute by going to our Angel link. I love it. If you all went to the Angel link, you can get on the Angel link and you'll be able to see exactly what we are doing. And that'd be awesome. That'd be awesome. Yeah.
Let's spend some time with that real quick because I'm not gonna let you just skate off with it. So yeah, go ahead. I'm glad you got that up there. Go ahead.
So we're going over there. We're going to be feeding 125 orphans, and I just put this together. Now I've already collected over $1,000 in direct funds, and I dropped $2,000 myself. But we got some people here. And so this one is going to happen. September 1st, we're uniting the passion and expertise of the Tenacity Foundation with the Federation of Families. And we are going out there to love up on these young people. These young people have been through some really difficult times. I mean, really difficult times. Not that any of us haven't, but they've been sexually abused. I mean, 1-year-olds that have been sexually abused. Put your mind around that. That's kind of crazy. And they have two different locations, one for the men and one for the boys, one for the girls. And we're gonna go over there. We got to rent some vans and bring them all into one location so we can put on this program. And once we put on the program, we'll be able to help them out. Give them some clothes, give them some hot meals, some groceries and stuff like that, some essentials, all that type of stuff. So it'd be a great thing if you're able to help us on out. They're going to be in Calacan, and that's in the Philippines. Once again, this is the name of the company. It's the name of the orphanage out there in case somebody wanted to look them up. That's the name of the orphanage. So I don't want to do disrespect to their name, right? By not pronouncing it correctly. But there you have it. And let me see. I want to see if I can get a QR code for you real quick on the screen. There you go. And here's a QR code for you on the screen. Let me see. I might have to move the screen to the next one. And you all can see that. Share screen. There you go. That's the QR code. So if you want to be a part of it, if you want to help out, that's the QR code to the Angel link. And we greatly appreciate it. Greatly appreciate it. Thank you, brother. You got any questions for me?
I could have 1,000 of them if you allow. You'll be
all right. Go ahead.
Yeah, you'll be over there. I mean, first off, the brother's taking it international. I mean, anyone who's, and he does this within the community as well. So this is not just, he does it in the community here. I know the brother has some people that he employs on his team that are from abroad, and he automatically just jumps into, into their community as well. This is how big the brother is, right? So I know you're also be doing some speaking as well. If at the very, very least, speaking to the youth that will be affected by this a program that you're putting on, or with the collaboration with the orphan, or with, I guess, the orphanage. Is that what it is?
Yeah, this is the orphanage. We have 3 speaking engagements out there.
There we go. Yeah. Talk about it a little bit, if you don't mind.
Yeah, we have the workshop where we'll be working with the S&P Global. S&P Global is an international organization, and they've invited us to come out there to do a workshop on confidence. So we'll be out there doing that workshop on confidence, and then we also have a couple of small settings that we're going to visit and do some direct encouragement for some people, some church locations, some coaches that we're supposed to be meeting, and then of course the orphanage. And if we raise enough money, there's a second location that we're looking into, where there's mostly babies that are in need, and so they need different types of stuff, Pampers and milk and whatever that is, plus probably some medical supplies as well. But we're building this thing, man. Like Kevin Samuels used to say, we're building as we fly, y'all. Mm-hmm. Listen, I'm not going to try to state that, like I got it going on or anything like that. This is all very, very new. I've never gone across the waters to do something like this. So this is super exciting, to do this, to take what we do locally, feeding people, clothing people, providing provision and transportation, and helping people to like game up. And that's actually what I got to take off to go do after this, right? There's our youth explosions going on tonight. We're closing out. So it's just like, it's very big. I appreciate you, Mike, because this thing is like, it's huge for me. It's huge for me. People go to people and say, hey, I'd like to join your mission. They go to people, they go to the Red Cross, and they say, I'd like to join your mission. And we have created a mission for people to go to. That hit me when that thought came to me. That hit me, and that was like crazy. I was like, all right, I am the guy who created this mission, and we're going to do it. So yeah,
dates for the people.
So your donations. So, I mean, once the live is over, I guess you can rewind it, or you can DM us. But we're trying to close out all of the funds by the 26th, 27th. We want to close out all the funds, unless you're going to direct fund. If you're going to direct fund, then you could direct fund to Joel@tenacityfoundation.com. If you direct fund, then that's perfect, because we need to be able to, as soon as I land in the Philippines, within 24 hours, we got to go buy everything, right? We got to go buy everything so that we'll be ready on the 1st, September the 1st. That's when we're going to do the first program, maybe 2 programs on there, depending on how much we raise. And then from there, we're going to go from, I have a conference on August the 31st, and then I have the workshop on September the 3rd. Yeah, then I'll be taking off out of the Philippines by the 5th.
There we go. Shouts out to the Joel and the Tenacity Foundation. Big things. Applause the brother. I don't have the button. Press the button, brother. Where's the applause button?
Gosh, man.
If you could click that for me.
I gotta click it for you, huh? All right.
All right, man. I'm loving this. I wanted to do a recap, but you all can check out the recaps. Last week we did Honor What You're Given, and we're essentially talking about these different principles. I love this because this principle that we're jumping into now, the mirror doesn't live so you know, and that's exactly what the brother's doing. Like the stuff that's in his heart, how he communicates, how he impacts there's receipts to it. It's not just the talking head that's on the internet that you come to see in Community Beacon, where it's just, I'm just talking about this thing. I'm living this thing out. I'm going to the Philippines. How long is that flight? How many hours is that flight?
It's about 18 hours, but unfortunately, I got the one with a bunch of stops. So I'm gonna be up there, y'all, for like 28 hours. I'm not going business class, y'all. I'm not going business class. So y'all pray for your boy, all right?
Hopefully you get a little bit of rest during that time, so by the time you get there, because I know that you're going to hit the ground running. Make sure you take all your stuff. Be hydrated, like we spoke about earlier. But yeah, he's gonna hit the ground running. 28 hours, living so he knows. This episode is essentially, or this principle is essentially about integrity and accountability. And it's so you live in such a way, live so you know, in such a way that when you face yourself in the mirror, you don't have to lie. I've heard the brother say it before. I've been saying it for years. You could lie to anybody. Sometimes people ask you things and I always say, I don't even ask people certain questions because I don't want you to lie to me. Like it may just come easy because I'm asking you something, but do not lie to, I say, don't lie to yourself. Don't lie to the Most High. Those two people, you try to be as truthful as possible. So the mirror, because the mirror essentially is your scoreboard, and you don't want to be going off of fake numbers. It's not about the likes. It's not about the applause. It's not about what people think. The mirror is going to tell you and honor what was given to you, and is going to tell you whether you've drifted. Okay, so that's the principle we're on now. Live so you know. I was thinking, I'm going to talk a lot about nutrition. I'm going to talk a lot about the gym. We already know that. And years ago, what I noticed with myself was, and because I've never really stopped going to the gym. So what I've noticed with myself when I looked in the mirror was like when I was going and I was putting in the work, when I was performing things, like you could tell from the front view. Like I could look at myself and say, yeah, the brother, I'm in there, I'm lifting, I'm feeling good. Like you could just tell from the front, like you say, I'm lifting. I'm gonna tell you where it all comes together though, is that when you look from the side, that's gonna talk about how much sleep you're getting. That's gonna talk about whether you're living the nutrition that you're getting, especially if you're not, they say abs and all this stuff is made in the kitchen. You can see that from the side of yourself. It's going to tell. And I remember we had an episode maybe around 2 to 3 years ago or maybe it was 2 years ago. And I said, you know what? I go to the gym every day and I start to see the same people in the gym, but I don't really see any like they don't change much. Like these people still, although they go to the gym every day, and this was me. This is me at times. There's no changing. They don't look like they're in shape. You honestly couldn't tell the difference between someone who went to the gym every day and someone who didn't. This is the performative, because we've made this thing into a ritual. Like, okay, I'm going and I'm going and I'm going and I'm going every day, and I'm putting forth the effort that I think. I'm not really putting any numbers to it. I'm putting forth the effort that I think. I'm pushing major weight. Some of these dudes you'll see, they're lifting heavy weight, but their body doesn't change. The aesthetics don't change. And so you ask them, well, you know, what are you in here for? So it's like I'm like someone in jail. Like, what are you in here? So we putting in tie, right? What are your results? Oh, well, right. And I say, oh yeah, you know, I'm trying to get my body to do this, or yeah, I got to drop some couple of pounds. Well, we've been dropping a couple pounds for the last 2 years and nothing's moved. And I see you lifting heavy. I know you're putting forth the effort. I know you're performing for us. I know you're probably telling people, yeah, I go to the gym, but the results aren't showing. We're not, because guess what? When we leave that gym, because we're consistent with that, we're not living that same lifestyle outside of the gym that we talk about. We're not eating the correct foods. We're not getting the correct nutrition. We're not getting the sleep we need to get. That's a hard one for me, right? Brandon, shouts out to Brandon. We just sit here checking the boxes, and this happens not only in the gym. This is in our relationships. This is at the job. Like, we're not performing with excellence. So now when we look in the gym, and if we're on, when we look in the mirror and we're honestly truthful with ourselves, if we sit back and we actually be truthful with ourselves, we'll look at it and say, well, you know, we're just not living this lifestyle. We're talking about it. We're performing, right? Like, hey, sweetheart, good to, I love you, right? We're saying these different words, but but outside of that, and we got to know that it shows, brother. I want you to jump in. I know I don't know.
Good, man. Don't worry about nothing, man. We do us. And people don't understand how we do. We do us, y'all. That's how we would talk on the telephone, man. Sometimes the brother might go for 5-10 minutes. But you know what? It teaches us how to listen, so that we actually hear what other people are saying, man. Sometimes we talk too fast. We're so busy getting ready to speak that we heard nothing that was said. Listen, man, you're talking about this, the food, the nutrition. Gosh, that has been my kryptonite, right? It's been my kryptonite. And I mean, I'm doing so much better. So 1% better. You know how Kenyatta, she'll always say, man, I'm just looking to be 1% better. I've been checking out some of her stuff too. I didn't realize she had an IG feed. I've been checking that out. We've been talking. But I see her all the time in the gym, and she's doing so much good. She did so much better, bro. So she went and got herself checked out, and she had gained like 10 pounds in muscle. Because I was looking at her like, wow, you look good. So she said, I gained 10 pounds of muscle, you know, and I lost some fat. And so I was like, man, I need to go and check myself out, because I don't know if I'm doing good or not doing good. Like, because you get that idea where you look in the mirror. I look in the mirror and I'm like, wow, that looks better. And then, like you said, that side view, I'm like, oh, hey, man, what's going on right there? I thought I did better. What? Oh, snap. And I went and I got the man to check me out. You know, they got these neat machines. I'm sure you know what the machine is called.
DEXA scan, probably.
Yeah, you hold the handles, and you got to take your shoes, take your socks off. And I done lost 7 pounds of fat and gained 7 pounds of muscle. And I'm like, that's dope, you know? And so, like, there's certain parts like that side view, depending on how I eat that day or how much water I drink that day, then there's like bloating. right? So I can make that disappear in the day. So I know that I'm not doing too bad, you know what I'm saying? Because it doesn't just hang there all the time. I know it's just like you got to do some more. You got to get stronger in your core. You got to, drink more water to flush out toxins, and you got to supply more protein and the appropriate types of foods so that you can build that muscle mass. But like that's always been my challenge. It's just like eating, not just appropriate eating, but eating. And so when I stopped eating steak, I stopped eating steak for 1 month. It like wrecked my eating habit, wrecked it, because my trainer was like, a lot of times steak, if you cut off steak for a little while, because steak will get itself lodged in like your intestines and stuff. It's very slow to move through, and that may be causing some of the bloating, and then also like how you hold your body up. And I realized, man, a lot of times I slouch, and I've done that all my life. So getting myself out of the habit of slouching was another thing, and just not slouching changed the way that my body looked. I was like, whoa, that nothing but just putting my shoulders up and I felt taller. It's like I'm taller than what I think I am. These are like crazy little tiny small things that just keep on doing it. Oh yeah, Brandon sent me a link the other day too with a bunch of stuff that we're talking about now. It's just like crazy small things, a lot of stuff that you're talking about right now.
Yeah, all that's I love the slouching thing. Put your brothers, young men, put your shoulders in your hips. That's what they say. They say put it like in your back pocket. You know what I mean? That way you got your chest out and your shoulders. That you want to kind of put your shoulders back. That changes a lot. Like when you think about your posture. And over time you start do that. I got a whole theory behind why brothers tend to slouch, but that's for a whole other episode. Listen, living so where the brother has a saying. He says, wherever you find yourself, you need to check yourself. Right. So this is looking in the mirror and saying, well, and doing an audit and doing it often. I'm putting forth the effort, right? I'm putting forth the effort of going to the gym. I'm putting towards the effort of, what's the word?
Nutrition, gym.
Well, I meant more so in relationships. Like I'm putting forth the effort in having better relationships. But what is it for? And what's the reasoning for me doing these things? First off, and that's actually next week's, but I'll jump into it a little bit now, is like the clarity of it. Like figuring out, getting clear on exactly what it was I want to do. If you go into the gym, am I getting strong, or am I looking to be a bodybuilder? Those are two different things, right? And sometimes we go in there, we're thinking that, okay, well, I want to be strong and I want to be this, which is fine, but know that that's going to be that's going to take time versus if you're just doing one thing. I heard Kai Green say recently, he was like, I can't tell you how I don't lift heavy. He said, I'm a bodybuilder. He said, and I heard Jay Cutler say it as well. He said, no judge has ever asked me how much it is that I lift. He said, so the point of me going into this gym is to contract my muscle, to tear it down and allow it to grow. That's what I do. But if you want to lift heavy weights, to say I just want to lift heavy weights, now you're not. Your nutrition is going to be different than the bodybuilder's nutrition. How much, and not necessarily say like eating McDonald's or something like that. You know what I mean? Like we're eating something crazy. It's more so about how much I'm going to be eating. How much fats am I going to increase my fat? Because if I'm doing strength training and that's it, then I'm probably going. There you go. Brandon is. We might need to pull Brandon up here. It's the intention, getting clear on our intentions, and not just in the gym. I know we're using this as an analogy because it's clear and it's easy to see, but also understand that for people who have been through these different fires and understand this stuff, it's clear and easy to see on any context. It's clear and easy to see in the relationship. So now we can actually be truthful with ourselves, right? We'll talk about the relationship. I want to, what is that?
Hit the wrong button, bro.
I was like, is StreamYard advertising? Are we getting paid for this? But
I was trying to send that to, I was going to send it to Brandon, and that thing just shot out there. I don't know where it went to, man.
Yeah, I said we need to get paid. That has to, we need to get paid for that. But what is it? We can actually be clear on what it is that we're doing. That oftentimes we don't put forth that clear intention, that understanding what we're doing. The brother said he gained 7 pounds. He lost 7 pounds of fat. He gained 7 pounds of muscle. So if that's the case, then he's recomping, right? That's not he's looking for the longevity of the thing. It's not just I'm here. I'm just, because you could do that. Like I'm just losing a bunch of weight. That's fine. I don't know, whatever it is, maybe you need to do that. For everybody, it's going to be different. But for me myself, I'm doing the same thing the brother is doing. It's a recomp. It's going to look different. Where it may take someone 12 weeks to lose 30, 40 pounds, if there's, morbidly obese, it may take me for that. If I'm losing that weight or if I'm gaining muscle, I may not see it on the scale. So my metrics are different. Now I'm judging it differently. I'm not worried about what my overall weight is. I don't have a problem with it. I'm actually like, I don't want to get too much smaller than this in my mind, right? Until I get there, we'll see. But I don't want this to happen quickly. And you know what else will happen is that when you do it certain ways, it's easily put back on. Like have you ever seen someone who just went out and just lost 10, 12, however many pounds? You're like, man, you look good in 10 to 12 weeks, right? But then all of a sudden you see them 6 to 8 months later, and you're like, oh, do you still go to the gym? Yeah, I still go, but so on and so forth. But, I digress. The principle, live so when we look in the mirror and you're talking to yourself, doing this audit in the mirror, you understand exactly what is going on. Essentially, that's the point of it. Like, what exactly is going on in my life? And I can sit down, I can figure out, well, how do I need to go? Like, what exactly I need to do? Like for me, I said, you know what? I want to go into elite status with this lifting thing. So guess what? This is not going to happen in the next 6 months. I could lose a lot of weight in the next 6 months. I can actually start lifting. I can lift heavy in a lot of 6 months, but I'm going to a certain elite status, right? Because I've mastered it. I've lost weight. I've gained weight. I understand the systems and the principles within weight gain and dieting and nutrition. Now, okay, well, I have all that information. I said to myself, what am I going to do with it? Right. And I said, well, according to this principle, I want to live. So I want to live because I have this information. What was the sense of me gaining all of this information if I'm not going to use it? I want to, and I'm not, I'm not too old to where all I could do is teach it, right? Because maybe and even then, but I wanted to show for me. I want to look in the mirror and say, yes, you are going to the gym. I want to go look in the mirror and say, yes, you are putting in the work. Yes, you are putting effort, both inside the gym and outside the gym. I want to live so I know.
I like it, man. While you were talking, you reminded me of just like the acronym SMART, because we're basically talking about like goal setting to a certain degree, and also understanding your why. Why are you doing whatever it is that you're doing? We should know the reason why we are doing what we're doing, and many times we don't know. How you doing there, Pastor Haroon? Good to see you. We should know the reason why we're doing what we're doing, where we're going. That's one of my principles, called the 3 lens, right? And it's just about knowing who I am, what I am, where I'm going, and then also how I want other people to perceive me. And all of these things are on the inside of me. None of them have to do with you per se. It's just how I want to, who I am, where I'm going, and how I'm showing up. That's basically what it is, and these things right here I feel like that's living so is what you're talking about, because it's like, what am I doing this for? Now, if I'm just doing it for show, then if you're just doing it for show, then you're just doing it for show. I'm not going to knock you on that. There's plenty of people that just do things for show. Maybe that's what you want to do. That's not really my stilo, but it's like knowing where you're going. So setting out that goal. And I love it because you start talking about realistic stuff. I believe in that. I believe in setting realistic goals and being real with myself. And it took me a while, especially when we start talking about this weight and, these measurements and everything. Because I had a goal maybe a few years back. I was like, I want to lift 300. I'm going to lift my body weight in a half. It was like 300 pounds or something like that. Or maybe it was just underneath that. I was like, but that was in my mind. I was like, I'm just going to do it. And I didn't understand anything about what it would take for me to be able to do that. Right? Had no clue. So how could that be realistic? Right? But on the other hand, I made a goal 4 years ago that I would go to the Philippines and that we were going to give out stuff. Like maybe we're going to give out bicycles. I made a goal. And like, I didn't realize what it would take to actually get there. It took me 4 years to get to this moment right now. God bless me to see the day when I get to take the actual flight next week, right? But it's like when I'm listening to what you're saying, Mike, it's about clarity. Yes. Have clear goals, make them realistic, and like you can always make them time bound, y'all. Just going with that SMART acronym, you can always make them time bound. But if you don't accomplish it in the time that you set, then renew your lease. It's like, that doesn't mean it's over with. It just means renew your lease. Maybe it was not as realistic as you thought it was in the very beginning. like my weightlifting goal. I'm the closest to my 300-pound lift now than I ever was before. I think that I did a max. It wasn't even a max lift. I did 225 the other day, 225 bench press, and 3 times. And I went to 230, and my trainer gave me an assist on it. So I don't know if it was really a max or not, but I remember being stuck right around 215. It's like, I didn't even know I was that strong. He just threw the weights on it. We just yip talking, just trying to figure out what's going on, because he likes to talk about the Lord a lot, likes to talk about life. And you in the right conversation with the right guy now, because I'm going to talk. I don't even realize he's putting plates on. And he's like, all right, just come on, give me 3. I'm like, okay, 3. And then boom, I just lifted. It's like, okay, how you do it? Hey, how much is that? Oh, that's 225. I didn't want to tell you about it because I felt like you could do it. I was here for you. Like, oh man, wow. And it's just like, we can do all of these things that we're saying that we want to do. But at the end of the day, what is it that we want to accomplish? For me, part of that, this piece of it is, I do want my physique to look a certain way. Not for you, for me. Because half of the time, I'm not wearing any clothes that you could see me. Right? So I don't need you to know what I look like. I want to look in the mirror and say, yeah, you did that. You sculpted yourself for yourself. Right? And to me, that I believe that I can do that. So the reason why I'm always looking into my nutrition is because I've gotten so much better at my workout that I realized that my nutrition is the thing that's lagging. So I put more emphasis on my nutrition because I'm doing my workout regularly. I've gotten past that. I've gotten beyond that stage of I have to wake up at 3:30 to be to the gym at 4 or whatever. I don't have to do that. I just need to be in there. And I understand that. I get it. So, I mean, that's like my perspective on what we're talking about.
And that's like coming into your own. You know what I mean? Like, I like when I see people who go to the gym at whatever time you want to go, but to solidify those habits, the habit of just getting there without any impediment, because nobody's on, there's no traffic at 3:30 in the morning, people. So after you get in there for your good 3 to 6 months, then you like, now all of a sudden it's like, okay, I can, if you want, you can cut back, you can go more, like whatever it is that you want to do, but at least you, at that point in time, you know, right? And I heard you say the making the adjustment. Like what you had an ideal, and this happens a lot. I think a lot of people have these lofty ideals, and sometimes they say it to me, and I'm like, "Well, have you tried it yet?" Right? Like I want to, I want to lift I want to squat 700 pounds in 6 months. Like, well, how much do you squat now? I don't know, but when I was in high school, I was doing 135 easy. All right. Let's try this. Let's try this out. Okay, they get in there, and then now you're looking at yourself, and that 135 seems crazy now, right? And you say, well, to be able to look in the mirror and say, okay, and I'm going to make this adjustment. Well, I was doing the family court thing, and I was like, okay, well, this is the deadline, like the SMART goal you mentioned. This is the deadline. This is how much I'm willing to spend. This is, when I'm dealing with attorneys, whatever it is, this is the time frame I'm putting into it. I'm going to go this much. And then I'll go, and then at 3 months, I'll make the adjustment. Okay. And that's how I do all my goals now. When I started, I said, okay, I want to be able to do this, lift this. I want to do this. I want to cultivate. That's the word I was looking for. I want to cultivate this kind of relationship, and I want it cultivated by this point in time. When I get into it, because life happens, I'm going to make the adjustment. It doesn't mean I'm going to stop the goal. Listen, a man is known by his receipts. His receipts and his reflection. When I'm looking at men, I'm looking at their receipts and I'm looking at their reflection. How have they, how have they progressed? And not only how have they progressed, how do they feel about their progression, right? They're reflecting on that. And then when you see how much your receipts, what I've done, when you see what I've reflected, now we can make the adjustment. If you notice, a lot of people just get to complaining and just get to talking, and they get into a certain loop, a trauma loop, or whatever it is, because of the way that they're looking at it. I mean, and you can just, I hate to use the word judge, but that's essentially what I'm doing. Like, I'm just looking at this person and saying, well, this is your receipts. Unfortunately, maybe you wanted to be here. I wanted to squat 700 pounds. I got in the gym, and all of a sudden I didn't notice over 20 years since high school, I got a little bit of knee situation. I haven't really been as active as I wanted to be. I'm here now. How do you look at that now? Okay, well, cool. I'm doing this 135. I'm going to inch up 10 pounds. You could look at it that way. Or you can go in there and say, I can't lift 135. I'm a failure. I'm not going back. It's embarrassing. I don't want people to look at me. I want y'all to hear this, because the brother also mentioned, like, I'm doing it for me. I'm not going in there for other people, for what other people look like. That, if that's even on my mind, which let's be honest, sometimes it is, it's going to come with it. It's going to come with the reflection and me just getting better and making the adjustment. And people are going to start to say, okay, well, I'm going to tell you one way I know I'm getting stronger. When people start asking me for spots, hey, brother, can you spot me? I'm like, okay, I'm doing what I'm supposed to be doing. I wasn't looking. Honestly, I wish I wasn't, quote unquote, bothered by it. I'm in my workout, and I'm older now, so I cool off earlier, right? But when people start asking you for spots, you're like, okay, I'm doing something. I mean, it's just a part of the checkpoint. All this stuff comes with it. You going in there, you doing what it is that you're supposed to do, you being truthful about what it is, you making the adjustment, and then you start saying, okay, well, I'm just going to go up 5-10 pounds. And then you get around great people. We cannot forget this part of it. You get around brothers like Joe, who are going to the Philippines to do work in the community, right? You get around brothers like Brandon. I know Brandon, right? Who who we can have these conversations, iron sharpening iron, because now when you're exposed to that and you start to elevate that, and you around other people who want to be elevated just like you, just like Joe's trainer, now all of a sudden you're lifting 225 3 times and you didn't even look at the weight. You start to get through you start to have those mental breakthroughs, because it wasn't that he couldn't lift 225. It was just a thought process. The trainer, he got around someone who probably talked to him, and when he was talking to him, he didn't even see how much weight he put on. And next, the brother's he's lifting it for 3, a PR. And he's not a spring chicken. Like, we're not spring chickens, right? But we're getting better. I love being a man, because we have a. I'm gonna tell you how it is. I love being a man. I love being a man, because I'm just getting better with time. Yeah. I'm getting wiser. I'm using this information. I'm in the gym hitting things that I didn't think that I wasn't doing when I was in high school. Right. And now I got the wherewithal. So I enjoyed. I'm just in this power where it's just like, I'm just getting better because I'm doing these things in order for me to be this 1% better. And I'm getting around people who feel the same way. Yeah. And I'm looking in the mirror and I am being honest with myself. Yeah. And the Most High saying, this is what it is. This is where I am. That the brother said something that too. This is where I am. So now I know this is where I am. This is where I am going, and this is where I intend to go. So maybe the two shouts out to Haroon. Maybe it's not gonna be, I'm not gonna lift this 700 pounds by December, but if I just continue and I just move in that fashion, and I'm doing it for me. I'm not ego lifting. That's when you get hurt. I did it before when I was young. Benching for people to see me. Or actually, it was a deadlifting for people to see me. And I'm just doing what I'm doing. I'm doing what I'm doing. Sometimes I pull back. Sometimes I go all out. And then I have the right people around me, so on and so forth. This is living so you know. It's not living for somebody else to know. That comes along with it. I don't think you've spoken about the Philippines this entire since you've had this on Community Beacon. Anyways, you haven't spoken about the Philippines, right? But it's just happening. Like, it's just the brothers in the Philippines, and it's next week, and it's big. So I want us to make sure that we understand that. But I also want to understand that it's already done if the brother lives, right? So it's already done. So it's almost like, okay, it's getting better. He even said, I'm building as I fly. So this means that this is the first time. I don't know what's going to happen next, but the next time is going to be, it's something. You know what I mean? Like, it's just living. It's a part of this. These goals and these principles should just be a part of your life. Yeah.
Getting back to that, man, that live so you know, man, this is deep. You said something, man. You said a man is known by his receipts and reflection. I love that, Mike. That's good. That's good. And then you also mentioned how it's not live so others know. You said live so you know. I love this principle. I love that you put that the way you put it there, because I believe that that's exactly what it's all about. I too had lived because I wanted other people to know that I was in the room.
It's a problem. It's a problem in our community. Go ahead, brother.
Man, when I abandoned that thought process, it got real silent around me. There was only a few people that were near me. I'm not talking about billions of years ago. I'm talking about in our lifetime. You were with me. There's only few people that were nearby that was still there with me. And my circle really shrunk, very small, very small. And then all of a sudden it was like, no, I'm not going to call it live because live so I know, but I'm just going to live for me. And it connects with what you're saying. It connects because sometimes we have, as people, we have the exact same thought process. We just express it with different words or in a different manner, but it's the same route. And it's like when that happened, all of this other stuff happened. And I love that because the people that are around me now because they like me for me. Like I don't have to show up. We've talked about this so many times. I don't have to show up with all these different masks on. Bro, you like to wear jackets? Yeah, that's why I got a jacket on. That's it. Because I like to wear jackets.
Right.
I like my button-up shirt. I like to wear my chain the way it's because of me. It's not about anybody else. It's like, and by me being just me, it's attracted people who want to be around me because of me. And I love that. You know, when I was standing there in my own mind and I was thinking about who I would be, who I wanted to be, I did not necessarily see me like this. I just saw me as being somebody who would be happy, who would be free. That's what I saw. I couldn't picture each and every last thing. Like how was I supposed to know that my eyes were going to start failing on me and I would need to start wearing glasses more? I wasn't going to know that. How would I know that? And the reason is because when you are standing where you're standing, it is hard to see what it takes to get to where you want to go from where you're standing at. You can only see so far down the road, and then you're going to come to a place where it's unknown to you. That's why I love about having my own faith walk. Like scripture says, who is blind, save my servant. Who is deaf, but my servant. So this faith walk, this life is a faith walk. And it's like, when we start talking about this live so you know, it's like we must understand that we don't know everything. What we do know is what we're able to use. And if we use that to the best of our ability, it will take us to the place that we need to get to, where we can learn what we need to know to go further. And those are called pivoting grounds. My brother Beethoven, he'll tell you, Joel, when I learned how to pivot, pivoting grounds. That's what it is. It's like you have got to get to the furthest extent that you already know. You have to go there. Like Jim Rohn said, when you look at a tree, it doesn't stop its growth. It grows as high as it can grow and as wide as it can grow. You have to cut the tree in order for it to not progress. And even in cutting it, if you don't kill it, it will find a way to grow over, around, or through that cut. And human beings are the only ones who will not grow as far as they can possibly grow. They will find some way to recede. And it's like you must get all the knowledge that you gain. You must use all of it, everything, all your energy, all your effort. You must exhaust yourself going out as far as you possibly can go, because it's only at the far reaches of where you can go that you find out what it takes to get to where you want to go.
Brother, you know I'm holding you because I know you got to get up out of here.
I just saw that too, man.
I think this. I'm gonna end it here. I think this was an awesome thing, guys. This is. I mean, it's a powerful. For me. This was a powerful principle. When I sat down and I broke it down, And I looked at it and I said, well, you know, and I'm in the gym. If you all catch me in the gym, I swear, I might be like the funniest looking person because I'm just in the mirror. I'll smile because you'll see right before I get a real good lift, I'll smile. You know what I mean? I'm just like, this is some beautiful stuff. But I'm looking at, because I'm doing this check in the mirror. And I'm asking me, I'm not worried about what this person on this left side is doing. I'm not looking on the right. And there's some beautiful people in the gym. Everybody, you know, we're blessed to go to EOS, beautiful people, brothers in shape, we're sisters in shape. Like everybody doing their thing. But I'm just like, this is you, Mike. Like, I'm not worried about it. I know these are the two biggest things in regards to your lifting is going to be, number one is going to be your genes. Like, and you can't change that. It is, you've been given what you've been given. All we could do is maximize it, right? The second is the nutrition, right? So you got, and then the third is the work. This is the performative work that you're doing, you know, and then we can optimize those things. So if we already understand that, like, and it's not even close. Like genes and nutrition versus the output, it's not even close. You cannot outwork a bad diet / you can't outwork bad genes. Like it's not even close. It might be like an 80-20 split or something. Like it's amazing. So when I'm in there and I'm maximizing what I've already been given, last week we spoke about that. I'm optimizing what I'm looking at it and I'm saying, okay, well, with this 20%, I'm going to put in forth this effort, but that when I'm away, when people aren't watching, when this is not this is when the work really happens. And I know that's why I got to live so that I know that these are and when the receipts and the reflection that I have will be shown. That's it. Was there anything last brother? So we can, I want to make sure, I already kept you over time, and my apologies. I looked at the clock and I said, "Oh man, we don't went past yet the time you told me." The time you told me.
Yeah, my apologies, y'all. Just want to remind you, if you'd like to donate, please do. If you'd like to be a part of this great mission, a humanitarian mission to feed the orphans in the Philippines. Appreciate y'all kindly. God bless.
Peace, y'all. I'm working it out.